Can James Bond survive this?
What?
We go to Hollywood.
It's a no for me, dog.
MGM, Amazon, Jeff Bezos.
Okay.
They've bought out and gained full creative control over the James Bond franchise from one Barbara Broccoli.
Do you expect me to talk?
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
So what does that mean?
Fuck.
I'm Jasper Gonzo on this. What it means to me? Yeah, expect to see a Jamie Bond coming soon.
Are you retarded?
Oof.
No!
But it's what's next. Hey, happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. TGIF, Jasper Gonzo, what's next? Your daily dose. Hope you guys are doing well on this day. And I'm going to change it up. Normally I do straight politics 5 days a week, but for Friday, I'm going to call it Freestyle Friday. Pretty much do articles and do stories that may get passed by, may get, underneath the rug, may get put on the back burner, what have you. But is it still going to be political? Yeah, because politics is in everything. No matter what we watch, no matter what we listen to, it's there. It's like the AIDS of our time. And sadly, this is one of them. We go to Hollywood, where if you didn't hear, Amazon, MGM, has gained full creative control over the James Bond franchise from one Barbara Broccoli. Barbara Broccoli? Really? Barbara Broccoli, excuse me. Yeah, like the vegetable. So what does this mean for the Bond franchise? What does this mean for the fans of James Bond? I'll give you my thoughts, but here we go. This comes out of Breitbart. Jeff Bezos asks social media who should play the next Bond after Amazon takes over the franchise. Yeah, because we all saw what Daniel Craig did. It's got to get better, right? Billionaire Jeff Bezos asked social media who should play the next James Bond now that Amazon MGM has taken over the franchise. Amazon took creative control of the James Bond franchise this week after striking a deal with Barbara Broccoli and Michael Wilson, who both inherited control of the intellectual property from their father, Albert Cubby Broccoli, per NBC News. The James Bond films has always been produced by Michael Wilson and Barbara Broccoli, who inherited control from their father, Albert Cubby Broccoli. Wilson and Broccoli will now give creative control to MGM Studios, which Amazon acquired for $8.45 billion in 2021. Amazon gained distribution rights for the Bond franchise, after MGM's acquisition, but not creative control. As part of the deal, MGM Studios, Amazon, Wilson, Broccoli formed a new joint venture to house the Bond intellectual property rights. They will remain co-owners of the franchise. Just because you're co-owners, you gave up the one thing that made James Bond, creative control. But then again, like I said in the beginning, look at Daniel Craig. Okay. In a statement, Mike Hopkins, Amazon head of Prime Video and MGM Studios, called the James Bond franchise a treasured heritage that will be ushered into a new generation. Yes, for modern audiences. Key words there, folks. Quote, "We are grateful to the late Albert Broccoli and Harry Saltzman for bringing James Bond movies to theaters around the world, and Michael G. Wilson and Barbara Broccoli for their unyielding dedication and their role continuing the legacy of the franchise that is cherished by legions of fans worldwide," said Hopkins. Used to be. Quote, "We are honored to continue this treasured heritage and look forward to ushering in the next phase of the legendary 00 franchise for audiences around the world," he added. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos then took his 4.3 million followers onto Instagram and to ask who should be the next Bond, who should be the next 007, which prompted an outpouring, overwhelming support for former Superman himself, yes, Henry Cavill, the Savage himself, and he was previously voted a possible name alongside Aaron Taylor Johnson of Kick-Ass. No one cares about that. Okay. As Breitbart News reported in December, James Bond franchise was placed on hold due to disagreements between Amazon and Barbara Broccoli, the former believing that the franchise should include Marvel-style spin-offs. That the idea Broccoli found so absurd that she reportedly called the studio heads idiots. She also expressed doubts that Amazon, which owns MGM, should be the studio to carry on the franchise, believing that they had been holding it hostage. Tough words. Or should I say strong words? The fact of the matter is that James Bond has taken a major hit over the last 5 years, 6 years, 7 years of the franchise. What started out great with Daniel Craig in the first film led to 2 more spin-offs, and sadly, they declined. Fans started dropping back. Fans started saying, this is not the James Bond that I know. especially the final film, where James Bond, almost takes his hands off the wheel and allows a girl boss to step in to run the show. Yeah, not a good look for you, dude, especially if you call yourself a man. Anyway, so what does this mean? Does this mean that the franchise is going to go into a new direction? Now when I hear new direction for a new audience, like I mentioned, modern audiences, that's never a good thing. Ask Star Wars, ask Marvel, and how did that work? Yeah, it's been trash. But they've got to go back to what made the franchise great. A strong, muscular British man who, yes, can be womanizing, but who can flat out kick ass and has a great accent to boot. That is what you need. You don't need the girl. You don't need to go all girl boss. You don't need to go bring in a James Bond who's going to be a simp. You don't need to do any of that nonsense. Just go back to what made James Bond great. Make James Bond great again. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Borganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share, subscribe to it. Hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. Continue spreading the word about the show. Appreciate you guys watching as always. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.